Hey, I'm here with Chris J. Wilson, who has been doing some really cool stuff online, and I wanted to interview him to see what he's been doing as far as his Bible knowledge management and some other things he's got going on. So he has decided to join me today, and he's coming to us from where are you coming at us from?
Hi, Abe. Yeah, I'm in Krakow, Poland,
All
or
right, so
nearby.
nearby Krakow, Poland. So tell me a little bit about your YouTube channel and what you got going on there.
Yeah, it's a funny story. I think I first started my YouTube channel when I moved out to Ukraine about 10 years ago. And so the very first video on my channel is actually from a stadium which is now pretty much destroyed. And it was this quick little video that I took there of us letting off some Chinese lanterns. And I didn't do much with the channel for a good few years. I occasionally tried a few different things. I uploaded some English teaching lessons when I was teaching English. And then about a year ago, I just had this thought that I wanted a new creative challenge. I wanted to stretch some other creative skills. I was writing full time, and I wanted to do something with video. And I thought, let's bust up the YouTube channel. Let's try something proper. And what topic would I like to do stuff on? And I realized, like what my faith is the most important thing to me. So why don't I start trying to make some videos kind of connected to Christianity and stuff around that? And so if you look at the first, I don't know, 20 or so videos, they were coming every maybe month or so. There's stuff like a review of a paper Bible. There was some like Bible products like pens and stuff like that because that was really interesting to me. I tried to do some stuff about like translation as I was learning about translation. I'd started doing some courses at Bible college here nearby here, and so I was thinking like this would be a way to share some of the things I've learned from that. And then I discovered your video on taking digital Bible notes.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's your fault.
No.
And I suddenly was like, oh, this looks like a really interesting way taking Bible notes, Bible study. Maybe I'll try and work out some stuff on this. And so I think I left a comment on your video. I was like, oh, this is really interesting. Didn't do anything about it for like months. Just thought, oh, I'll just investigate this. And then I started playing around initially with Notion and thinking like, oh, I'll do something with this. And that video got a lot. I made a video on like sermon prep in Notion because I was having to
Yes.
prep
Yeah.
for a sermon, and that picked up some traction. I thought, oh, that's interesting, but I deliberately ignored it. I like the next video I did was something completely not to do with Notion at all.
Hmm.
um, and then after a while, I'd switched over to Obsidian because I wanted to get the whole backlinking functionality.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then and again, I put out a couple of videos, but I really wasn't like, I don't want to do stuff just about like using Obsidian. And then at some point, I was like, you know what? People like this, and people are asking for this, and I'm enjoying this, and I'm going to do several videos and kind of focus more on this like Bible knowledge management topic. And I kind of planned out like several like how to get started and stuff like this. And now I'm trying to reincorporate some ideas about using paper tools as well with
Mm.
these digital tools, how I'm applying that knowledge. And maybe I'll do a whole load more about on some topics that I learned as well along the way, and not just Bible knowledge management.
Mhm.
I kind of just, again, it's just a way to be creative and
Right.
expressing these ideas, share things which I hope could help other people as well.
Yeah. I like that. I think it's I think what you got going on, especially as you're incorporating your sketch notes type stuff, is really cool. I remember I learned about sketch notes. I forget when. I was probably in college, and I think all through college I struggled with like how to take good notes, and it just was so tough to like. Okay, it's Cornell system. I tried that like so many times. I'm like, this is I don't see this working very well for me, at least. It worked like per class, so it was fine. But as soon as I switched to a different class and I wanted to like go back and find those notes, like maybe I didn't just organize my notes best enough to like do that. But that was always like a really big struggle for me to like find things. And like, yeah, I would use like, I was probably using OneNote, Microsoft's OneNote for a good bit. And I liked it because of like what you were saying as far as like trying to meet analog and the digital to like work together. And I thought OneNote did a good job with that because I forget what device I had. I think I had a Samsung Galaxy Book, which is a tablet that has a little stylus and it runs like Windows, I think. And I was like taking notes with my stylus all the time, and then also with the keyboard. So I liked that, and I think it's cool that you're like trying to figure out how to meet those two together. I struggle with that all the time too, as far as like, should I take more notes analog and then convert them to digital, or just stay with the digital, or even go back to the analog completely? I haven't really gone that route yet, but when I see people who do that, who just take notes all by hand, I think there's something really cool about that, and something super beneficial. But it's like I have Emacs, and Emacs can do like so much stuff that I'm like, I can't. There's so much you have to give up with that, and I can, when I learn the system, at least in Emacs that I can work with, I can just keep going with this thing. And it doesn't have to be just Emacs itself. I mean, Obsidian, the more I look at Obsidian, I see it growing and doing all kinds of really cool stuff. I've been watching that channel.
It's really cool with
I've been watching
plugins coming out are really impressive.
Yes. Almost a little bit over the top. Like I've seen some people like their calendars up here and their Bible stuff is, I mean, their other sliding panes are all over the place. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot. I like to have just a nice blank screen when I'm doing my stuff here. That's why I like to keep things as minimal as possible and not have it all over the place. But
I think that there's a certain type of person the tinkerer, who gets attracted to like open source projects, who gets attracted to that you can have your own plugins that add on. Right. And so then me, who's like kind of interested in these early adopter stuff, but is also like, I just want something that works and I don't have to like keep managing it or like keep changing everything all the time, as manage the kind of problem of managing the tool more than using the tool is the thing I worry about sometimes with all these extra plugins and stuff.
Yes, but I found that the same thing with analog tools as well. Like especially, I don't know if, I'm sure you have, but you probably looked at the bullet journal movement and how that go off. Like those people are the same thing. They're just doing it with paper. You're trying to find your bullet journal?
Yeah.
I've got a few on my shelf back here. Oh, your official? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like oh yeah, the one that they put out with like Leuchtturm, right?
Yeah. I tried to
I've got a few of those
with the official one. And like, okay, I'm going to adopt the whole system rather than kind of like taking a few bits here and there. It just didn't work for me. And like, I really like a lot of elements of the bullet journal system. But again, you can have these layouts which are so complex, and I don't know how people have time for that. Well,
we have time for our tools.
True.
For some reason. Yeah. You can just get overboard. And I think that is like the hardest part with a lot of this stuff, is that managing or tinkering with the tool versus like actually getting stuff done. Yes. I've actually thought about just like scheduling time where I can tinker with, I use Emacs, and I'm just scheduling time where I can just tinker with that and like just put a bunch of like to-dos when I want to go back and tinker with it. versus like
That's
I'm,
nice.
writing a sermon or writing a Bible class thing,
Yeah.
and like, let's go back and change my colors. Like, what am I doing?
That's a really nice idea. I used to have this kind of like philosophy of like weekends for tinker and weekdays for
Mm.
like for doing. Yeah. And also weekends would be for reflection as
Mm.
well. So I try and have just like a list of things to do during the week and be like, so like no decisions during the week, just follow the plan. and
Yeah.
but I think that was maybe a bit too extreme, but I do like the idea of like setting dedicated time for tinkering with stuff and seeing what you can do, because there are so many of these extra ideas that you can use.
Yeah.
What one that I want to try is the kind of Kanban board system that you can do in Obsidian.
Yeah. I
But
just saw that recently. It's crazy.
yeah, and I that's exactly how I felt. Like I use a Kanban system for management at work. I'm like, oh, this is
Hmm.
quite good, but then at the same time, uh, like for managing the newsletter that I do, I
Hmm.
actually just like recorded a video yesterday about how I'm using Obsidian to manage that. I could use a Kanban board to do that, but I only have to work on one edition each week, and there's kind of no
Yeah.
point in just like, oh, is this week's edition in progress or not?
Right.
Yeah, like
We're
is
working
it
on it
done or
now.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of obvious. Whereas I guess if I was juggling like different articles, maybe that would be more useful. But
Hmm. Hmm. So you said that part of your journey, I guess I didn't know you watched one of my videos, which is
yeah,
hilarious. That really
it's
like started you off on this thing. Uh, that's funny. It's funny
yeah,
when
it
you
was
put stuff
literally
out in line.
it was your one about a year ago on like how to take better digital Bible notes, or how to take digital Bible notes. I
Yeah.
forget the
Yeah.
exact title.
I do
Uh,
too.
but that made me go like, ooh, linking these thoughts, and I can see how putting it with connecting it to the scripture. And then I saw Joshua's one with Nick Milo on for the light course, and it was centered on Obsidian. And
Hmm.
I think that was the one which made me go, okay, I'm going all in on doing this. And
Awesome.
before that, I'd been kind of like checking things out, trying things out, and but then yeah, that was the like catalyst that.
So what was that video that you just said?
Yeah, I'll share a link with you afterwards.
Yeah,
It
do
was
that.
it's from he's usually referred to as just Joshua, but with a C in his name. In
All
video
right.
with Nick Milo, who does the linking your thinking workshops, like
Oh, yes,
Obsidian
yes, yes.
based kind of cohort course.
Hmm.
And yeah, he did this video explaining how he's using Obsidian with the Bible. And I would probably missay his surname, even though I think it's like Glau, but that's very rarely referenced online. So,
All right. All right. Yeah, yeah, do that. I'd really be interested to see that.
awesome, awesome.
Because like I think one of the cool things about the Bible knowledge management, whatever you want to call it, thing, is that even though I use something like Emacs, which I'm very upfront, like you can use this if you'd like. I get that it's really like I've seen the learning curve is almost like a spiral instead of just up. It's just like there's like no way of learning it, but
Yeah.
I got enough to where I get it. I like it for a number of reasons, but I get that like jumping into that's not it's not what everybody can do or like even would want to do because it's not as cool looking possibly something like an Obsidian, but I actually like the aesthetic of Emacs. But what I like is I can watch those videos like linking your thinking or some other people. I forget the names at the top of my head right now, but well, you obviously that I can like watch those videos and go, oh, okay, that's a cool idea. I can
Yes.
translate that and how that would work into Emacs just fine. Like, I don't even think it's a big
Yep.
learning curve. Like, y'all have like the double brackets. That's like your big
Yeah.
thing as far as linking. And I don't even know what to call it with. It's like I've got my key bindings that do the same thing.
Okay.
So it works for me. So I would like to see I think it would be a cool little exercise for you to like walk me through what it looks like. Let's say you wanted to start a study on like the Sermon on the Mount, and what are some steps? What are some steps that would look like that would like set you up to begin that study? Because to me, I learn a lot when I see other people's setups, and I want to see what your setup looks like as far as like an exercise. And I get that it's not always going to look the same per thing you're doing, and you're all it's like this constant reflow process of like, how can I make this better? And if I were to do it today, then I would show you like how I would do beginning in Matthew 5. It would look like different next week because I probably learned something or wanted to change something with it. But for right now, just what does that snapshot look like? And you can share your video whenever you're ready to do that.
Let's jump in then. So yeah, I guess I would actually, so I've got my home notes up here, but let's create a new note, and it would be like Sermon on the Mount. I don't know, maybe I don't feel like calling it Sermon on the Mount would be the right thing. What am I doing? Like, so I'm assuming that maybe we're doing like a series at church.
Yeah, let's say you're gonna have a Bible study, just a simple Bible study on the Sermon on the Mount, and maybe you're gonna be teaching it.
Okay, cool. So probably in something like that situation, I might add like I don't know, like a statement. I'm just thinking right now because, like, for reference for my future self, statement's the wrong word, but I'm so used to, especially with like Obsidian, just trying to express it and then work out what it should be later. I am leading Bible, let's say weekly Bible study, going through the Sermon on the Mount. So I'd have like these. This will help me organize everything. By the way, I really apologize for switching between English and British and American English, and I will probably do that like 5 times during this video. And it will.
You're just like adding random U's on things. Is that what you mean?
well,
I see.
U's or not including a Z, but an S.
A Z. A Z. Goodness gracious.
Oh yeah, of course. A Z. Sorry.
Yeah. There you go. That's correct.
Correct. Yeah. The one that gets me every time is apparently I should say beta as a Brit, but I always say beta. I can never say beta.
Beta, like alpha, beta. I see.
Yeah. Verses. I guess I would like probably have a verses section or scripture. Reference. Let's look at that. So I'm going to put that right at the top. I'm going to probably have some resources. Whoops. And I guess like I might want to have something for, because this is going to be a weekly study. I probably want like notes for so let's say at home groups as well. Notes for home groups.
Oh, okay.
And then I might have like week 1 here. So this is week 1 Sermon on the Mount. And then like week 2. So I'm just thinking about the future Sermon on the Mount study. This is probably what it's going to look like in the future, and so I'm probably trying to prepare myself for that. Resources, I'm not sure exactly. Scripture references. So we need Matthew. We want Matthew 5. Let's get you there. Until Sermon on the Mount ends in Matthew 7.
7, yeah, 7.
Let's get that. So in that case, let's have Matthew. Let's have them all up here. Matthew 6, cool, and Matthew 7. So we've got you there. So yeah, that should all.
Oh wow!
So what I'm doing right now is I'm just holding down the Mac key, Command key on my one. In Windows, it's the Windows key, I think, and that just allows me to see a preview. I could actually.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm gonna get up my. So now I can see like the actual how it will look like when I'm not in edit mode.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
because I sometimes like to have these side by side to see rather than like square brackets, see like a link. So I've got my scripture references. At this point, what I probably want to do is open up each pane and then check their backlinks. Thoughts on sermon, love and obedience. Yeah, I did this sermon on love. If you love me, you will obey.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's going to be useful in this one here. Resources. So I'll add this as a resource. Thoughts. Just as a note here. Thoughts on sermon. Oh, wait. Thoughts, because it's plural. Thoughts on sermon. Yeah, there we go. Let's go to Matthew 6 then. And whoops. In Matthew 6, sermon on do not worry. So maybe that will have something. Sermon on do not worry. Matthew 6. Let's see. Are there any other backlinks in this one? Sermon do. Okay, let's go to Matthew 7. Okay, so it's the same one there. So I've kind of looked at my back notes. Maybe I'll check these out later on. Maybe this will be useful. I'm actually going to separate that out into, I think I'm going to call this notes now rather. And then resources is probably, I want that to actually be like commentaries and stuff. So I think now what I need to do is
let me ask a quick question with your Bible section there. Where did you get that web Bible there? Or did you develop it yourself or?
So originally I used a resource that you pointed to, which was from, I think it was from Bible Hackathon. Yeah, Hackathon Bible.
Yes.
That was the first one I used, and it didn't have fantastic formatting for Obsidian, but Joschua made this fantastic Obsidian, fantastic Apple script, which allows you to download actually any version of the Bible from Bible Gateway. And then you can, and it gives it this really nice formatting where you have like, link to go back to the previous chapter, link to a like overview of the chapter, link to the next chapter. And you also have like an overview. Yeah, you have an overview note here. So can
you put that in the? Can you link that to me? I'll add it to the description notes here.
Sure.
I think that's pretty cool. He probably mentioned that in his discussion with the linking your thinking guy, most likely.
Yeah, he did, and he's also provided a download to it. It's formatted so well, and like the aspect that's really good for Obsidian as well is that you have these like H6 tags.
Yeah.
So that makes it really easy to link to them.
That's
but
so
if
cool.
If I show you like John, so I've taken this and I've the like overview one, and then I've added some extra facts into the section here, and like we have some resources.
Oh, that's so cool.
Themes in John, like so So that's what you can then start to do. It's kind of set up ready for you to expand upon it and adapt it.
I really like that. That is so cool.
And like I think it's one of the examples where having a separate folder is a really good thing to do and really useful. So I may want to have notes. I guess I may also want to have a note for like Matthew, the overview of Matthew. And do I have anything good on Matthew? I don't know if I've got like a good like themes of Matthew. Do not worry. Wedding at Cana, books of the Bible overview template.
So like whenever you open up you have those double quotes, it'll like almost like double brackets. It'll autocomplete to all these different resources you could possibly have with Matthew, huh?
Yeah, so I
like that.
I kind of use it as a quick search, like Mark. Yeah, I could do Mark. John. I have like Paul's titles. Titles. Paul uses different titles. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
so
you give a video on
like
that.
Yeah, and so like I know that I can find it even if I don't remember it quite correctly. Or I could use like the search functionality and do like Boolean searches.
Now, how does that work in Obsidian? Is it pretty easy to use? Oh wow, you got even.
Yeah, there's
like,
even like some nice.
That's fantastic.
Some nice like references here. You've got like the past searches. You can. There's also the no, not this one. So if you just do Command O, then it allows you to do like a quick search. And this is a really great trick because you can just do like sermon on charity. And I haven't made one yet. So if I press enter, it will create a new note with that title. But if I have made one, I can go to that and it will show me similar notes as so I might want to create a note, but then find out actually I've already created one and then it's not necessary to create one.
Yeah. Well, that's a really, that's awesome. I definitely learned a bit about Obsidian and like that whole Apple script thing that you've got that pulls out the Bible. That is so cool. And
yeah, I think that's
great.
It's Python. It's based in Python.
Oh, it's a Python?
Apple, sorry, yeah.
Oh, so anybody can use it then.
As long as you have, well, I guess even Windows has Bash now, doesn't it? So anyone can.
Yeah, I run Linux, so that's what I use. A lot of
running with the open source.
oh yeah, man. It's great.
Do you want me to show? So like resources, I was thinking. I've kind of looked through, but this would be where I'd go to Logos, and then I'd probably do like my search for a document and look for something on Matthew because I know I have some commentaries on Matthew. So I might try and find what.
Now, how easy can you link like a resource inside of Logos from your Obsidian? Like, could you link?
Not so well.
Okay, you couldn't link like the actual book source and click the link in Obsidian and it'd open up right to the source in Logos.
Let's open up like Craig Keener's commentary. Actually, I did use this recently because of this recent sermon. I could, for example, if I highlight some text here, I could copy, and then when I come to to Obsidian, it will give like a correct reference with a Logos reference. And I can't remember if this actually does this open. This opens in the web app for Logos.
Oh wow, I see.
Okay. Actually, it would open back to Logos, so I can use it there. I've never really done something like that to be honest with it, but yeah. So what I would actually let me get Logos up again. What I'd probably do though is kind of just reference the resource so I can get the information right. Yeah, I might. There we go. Copy. Might just get the resource up, and but that's certainly useful in inside notes or something. So there I can point to like I've got this commentary. I'm probably gonna go to. Are you familiar with best? Is it best commentaries or best Bible commentaries?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Best commentaries. Yeah, I do quite like using this to examine Which one should I go for? So I might check if I've got something useful from their suggestions list. D.A. Carson's. I don't think I've got Don Carson's one. Don Carson's one would be good. I definitely don't have RT France.
I bet you some of those are in script though.
Yeah, so there you go. That's the next thing that I'm probably going to go to, where it is almost certainly that for example, let's see, Matthew commentary. I'd probably look in here and see commentary on the Old and New Testament.
Yeah.
RT France, there you go. Is that the right?
That looks
Tyndale,
like it is Tyndale. That's not his.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's in there. Well, I don't know if I'm sure or not, but they have all the good ones. Yeah, look at that.
So can I link to this one? Probably.
You sure can. Yeah, I have probably a short video on how it links up to Scribd. It's just a URL. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, Scribd is so underrated, and so I love it so much.
It almost went away a little while ago. I remember, like it was like, I think it went down to just you could do 3 credits of books per month and like a credit of an audiobook, but now it's back to just full bore, and it's awesome.
I found out about it when I was doing an English language teaching qualification, and I just couldn't get access to some of the academic books, and so Scribd was the solution to that. And now, with doing like distance study for a Bible college, again, like getting access to like a commentary like this, which if you bought it in book form, it's don't even know how much, maybe $40 sometimes, I think.
Brand new, definitely.
And then like especially trying to get it out to Poland, and now we thanks to Brexit, we pay tax on import tax on things that come into Poland. So that's a new issue I've discovered with my birthday last month.
Oh no!
People sending gifts, which cost me money. So yeah,
that's terrible.
I think in one case the like import tax was more than
the actual gift cost. Oh, that's awful.
Isn't that fantastic, Carson? But there we go. That's just one of the things. Do we have the Gospel according to John? Maybe we don't have. Oh, look at that though. Jesus. From D.A. Carson. No reviews. Maybe I'll check out if this is good.
That looks pretty new.
Like it should be pretty good. D.A. Carson's pretty legit in most things. So, study of Matthew 5 to 10. Sounds pretty cool.
2018. It's pretty new.
Cool. So yeah, so I guess that's the kind of, like I get a couple of these resources together. I do like the ones in Logos. Whoops. Rather than in like having ones there, even though they cost a bit of money, but because of some of the notes, things. God will us themes from Matthew from D.A. Carson. Look at that.
There you go.
Fantastic. So maybe I'll information, save some things here. So this would be kind of how I'd start putting something together. What else would I probably want? I'm not sure. What should I do?
Well, yeah, I think it's a good list, a good starting list. I think it's cool to see how you kind of set that up, and I think you could start a pretty solid study that way, jumping into it.
Yeah, I think like the other thing, which for any study going through, I really think it's good and important to just spend time reading the passages like again and again and again, and like trying some different translations as well. Just something more dynamic, something more formal, and kind of to shake things up a bit, something a bit like a less common one, even ones which perhaps you disagree with a bit, because then it often picks up a word where it's like, hang on a second, that's not what the word is here. Hello,
Right.
NRSV.
You're just throwing some shade on the NRSV or something.
Well, I quite like the NRSV because it
Oh,
does something different, because it makes me just go like, wait a second,
sure, yeah.
this isn't the word that I know, and then it's it's useful to be like, okay, so why have they translated it this way?
Sure, yeah.
And you find out, why they did, and sometimes there are good reasons, sometimes there are less good reasons, and yeah, and so yeah, I think that's really important. I really like doing that with a paper Bible,
Yeah.
if possible. So I have a couple of, like, I have an ESV, I have an NET, which I just try and read through again, and I have an NIV, which is from like my childhood, and I'll just try and read through those kind of three a lot. I wanted to try and do this thing where you like make a version of the Bible without, or of a book of the Bible without verses, without like numbers, and without chapter references and stuff like that. I don't have a really quick and easy way to do that yet, because I haven't worked out an automation or something. I did it for an assignment that we had to do, and it was a really good experience. When you read through and you don't see these chapter divisions, and then you realize, well, this is a continuation of that, or this is this part matches. This theme has been said a lot in different areas. Perhaps this division isn't the most natural division or something, but I don't. I'd like to create a simple way where I could just be like, okay, make a version for Matthew, make a version for Galatians, which is like our next sermon series coming up. But there, I think that would be kind of my starting point, and then just having read through it a bit, I'd probably just go into each chapter and start doing some notes.
So show me just show me what it looks like whenever you're studying and you're making notes inside of like Matthew chapter 5, or if you want to show me maybe a text that you have been studying, and just show us like what that looks like as of right now, maybe Galatians or somewhere else.
Yeah, I think I tend to start from notes rather than because the ideas for notes tend to come from reading a paper Bible for me. I don't tend to be reading the on the screen when I get these ideas for notes, or it would come from or it might come from highlighting in a Bible app.
Yeah.
And so Galatians is a bad one, because I'm still just reading through it loads and like trying to, but actually, why don't we jump to Galatians, because it is a Galatians 1. Let's go here, because I haven't taken notes on it yet, but actually I do have I know that I do have Paul's titles here. So that's actually something I should probably add to my Galatians overview notes about Paul's title, because he's here and he's an apostle, and he has this whole not from men,
right, just out of the gate.
Yeah, just stating his credentials, guys,
right.
come on, I'm legit, which is a whole thing here. But I don't know, maybe I would. Yeah, so I have a note on this already, but I don't actually have a note which is about it in Galatians. So do I not have one for the Galatians? Okay, let's go back to Galatians 1 then. In that case, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to add a note here. Paul's title in Galatians. Why? Yeah. So I'm going to again, it's just a way to get it down as a starting point. I know that I probably want to change this to why does Paul justify himself or something like that? But
yeah,
I'm not sure exactly. Galatians 1. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the verse reference. I need the hashtag, and I want Galatians 1. No, I don't want that. I want verse 1. There we go.
Oh, okay.
So this is the slight problem with the like note system. You actually get like the link that you'd have there, and actually R.W. Robinson, he came up with a really nice system for this using footnotes, which I may start using. But,
yeah.
But that's I can provide a link for that too. Yeah, so he said like so he's here he is an apostle, here he like observations, right? Here he is an apostle, states he states he is an apostle. Okay, I'm just realizing I probably will link this to Paul uses different titles as well. Unlike in the letter to, like, he uses some other ones in other ones. Yeah, no title in Thessalonica, servant in Romans and Philippians. Yeah, unlike in like, for example. Okay, and all caps, why not? And he adds that he was chosen, that it's through God, actually. Yeah, it's through God, not man. He is showing his legitimacy from the start. Yeah, so I might make something like this. Obviously, my typo is so bad that the spell check is like, oh no. But,
yeah, I don't even know what that word is. No.
You're on your own here.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
cool. Yeah. So that would be like a starting point. So I've got something here. I think.
So it looks like whenever you're linking notes inside of the text, you're always doing it like on the bottom of each verse.
Yeah, because I probably don't want it to appear here because it will affect the like if I did one here.
Yeah.
Let's do an example. Maybe not that one. Grace and peace to you. I don't know. What should we do? Blessing. Yeah. So blessing in Galatians. Yeah. It's just blessing in Galatians. Okay. So if we did that, and then I want to insert it. Whoops, no, because I'm inserting. I'm inserting it. So Galatians 1 verse hashtag verse 3, and now it appears right at the top. So if I had a couple, then it's going to show it there. So that's why I wouldn't do that. And if I actually, but I think what I should be able to do is I should be able to do that, and it should. Oh no, it's unable to find the section because the heading changed. So it doesn't work with subheadings, but and that's the kind of issues that you can get. If I added another one, it wouldn't be compatible, and that's why it kind of has to go at the bottom.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So that's why I'd add them underneath there and have like multiple ones there. It's not necessarily as neat as something like Emacs, where you can just have those like little symbols.
I'm sure you could do that inside of Obsidian, like if you just do a single bracket, or maybe a bracket inside after the Galatians thing.
So I think that's where you really have to use the like stuff like footnotes, because you could because if I did like a 1 or something, then this would just be, this would link to a note that was called 1, and then I wouldn't really be able to find it. So I could do numbers. I could use like a Zettelkasten numbering system, but then it's not so easy to find. I could just use the like linked mentions rather than actually have it in the text. But there is something nice about the like reminder in the text that you can see. So So yeah, it's still like that is a slightly clunky part, and that's why I feel like changing to this the back links using footnotes. Sorry, I feel like that is probably a better way forward because then you can have nice titles, you can have these easy to find links within it, and if I then if I have multiple ones, I'd have multiple links along here, which would be really nice.
Well, sweet, man. I appreciate you showing us all this kind of stuff, and I think it's great. I think we'll have to do this again at a later point to see what other things you're kind of developing and working through. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about, I know you've got your YouTube channel and you've also got a magazine that you're pushing out as well. So
let me just try and find how to stop screen sharing.
Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, I've been doing this YouTube channel. I think it is, let me actually just double check that. If you go to youtube.com/Chris Wilson, without the J, UK, because I'm originally from the UK. But that's how you can find that there. There's the newsletter where I'm trying to share not just about Obsidian, but the whole community really. Because as you said, even though I'm not using something like Emacs, there's stuff I can glean from that. Even though I'm not using Rome, there's great stuff from there. And and I'm also trying to share some more kind of aspects of like the process of study as well. So it's not just the tech, but also helping to think about some of those things or productivity ideas as well. Kind of a few random maybe not just about how to take notes as Christians, but make it a bit richer with that. Those would probably be the main things. And then you can find me on Twitter as Mr. Chris J. Wilson, because Chris J. Wilson is someone in the UK who hasn't tweeted for many years.
Oh, no.
I would love that handle.
What do you do?
There you go. Is there anything? Yeah, I think. Oh, and also I do some writing for Church Mag, which is churchm.ag. And we do a podcast there, and that's about church tech and using things like Obsidian, or taking better videos, how to make sure that your sermons that you show your sermons in the best way. Also, like some church management software stuff as well, things like that.
Sweet. All right. Well, I'll have all those in the link in the description. And I just really appreciate you taking the time and showing us the back end of how things are working for you. I really appreciate it, and hope to see more of it, man.
No problem.
All right.
And I hope I can have you on my channel sometime, and you can do the same.
Oh yeah, I'd be totally in for it. All right, man. Well, we'll take it easy, and thanks everyone for watching the video.